Hey guys, how's it going? It's your buddy Jake Dominguez, of course, with some more movie news. Today, I want to talk about some news that we got just a few days ago. Friday it was, I believe it was the 19th of May, 2017. Really huge news. And I gotta say, this is something I've been following for a long time. Now, you guys know that I love movies. You guys know that. I love movies. I love directors. And I love animation. But there is one filmmaker that, for my money, might just be the greatest filmmaker ever. That's a big statement, and there really is no one greatest director, obviously. There's so many great directors that you would be excluding just from that statement that have helped the history of cinema, the history of animation, and all of that. What would you think the greatest director would be? Some would say Kubrick, Hitchcock, Spielberg. So many different people. Akira Kurosawa, Terrence Malick. There's tons of great directors out there. But as for the greatest in my opinion just might be the one, the only Hayao Miyazaki. I've loved his films pretty much my entire life. And just look at his filmography of work. It speaks for itself. And as we've all known, or you may not know, he's been retired for the past few years. And he's tried to retire many times. He thought he was retired before Princess Mononoke. Then after that film came out, then he retired again. Was he retired before that film? I think he was. No. I think it was after. Anyway, he definitely sort of retired after Princess Mononoke. That obviously didn't stay. He came back. He directed Spirited Away. That was going to be his final film. Then he would finally retire. Obviously, that didn't happen either. We eventually got a few more films, like Howl's Moving Castle and Ponyo. And The Wind Rises was supposed to be his final film. Then, for real this time, he was going to be done. He was done with filmmaking. He's going to leave Ghibli. He's done. He's retired. I remember seeing the trailer for The Wind Rises, which I think is kind of a masterpiece, and thinking, this is a good one to go out on. Like, without even seeing the movie at that point, just seeing the trailer, I was just like, I could already tell this is the culmination of a lot of his themes and stuff. That's a good one for him to leave out on. This is a good story for him. I could already tell before even seeing the great film that it was. Well, it turns out that about 6 or so months ago, we did get news that this retirement was just as fake as the last ones. He was coming back to direct a short film called Boro the Caterpillar, I believe it's called, to be shown in the famous Ghibli Museum in Japan. There's a couple short films that they've played at the Ghibli Museum throughout the years that are exclusive only to that museum, which is cool. I would love to go there one day. Now, this particular short film is really interesting because it's CGI, which is massive, but I don't want to talk about that today. So he's been working on that short film for a while, and a little while ago, about 6 months ago or so, again, we got more news that it looks like he wants to make a feature-length film. Again, he got an idea to make a new feature-length film. Now, a couple months ago or so, we had a new TV special that premiered over there in Japan. I don't think it's officially really played here yet. You've probably seen clips of it online. I mean, it's all there. But basically in this documentary, it shows Hayao Miyazaki creating this CGI short, which is something he's obviously been very kind of outspoken against. He's been very pro-traditional animation, which is great. And it just shows him, and it talks about how some of his fellow co-workers, ecologists, have passed away while making it and made him think about his own mortality. I've read a lot about the documentary. I shared some stuff on my Twitter account, for which there's a link down below about this. But it sounds like a great documentary. I love all the behind-the-scenes stuff on the Ghibli Blu-rays and DVDs about the making of and behind the scenes of his movies. They're great. He's obviously a genius and a very wise man. I can listen to him talk forever. But anyway, in this documentary, it talks about how he wanted to make a new feature-length film, and, well, it was implied that it was a feature film based on this Boro the Caterpillar short film. And at that point, in the making of it, and apparently it shows a lot of this in the TV special, he didn't get an official green light for it, but he kind of just started making it anyway. Well, in April of this year, his producer, what's his name? I'm going to pull up the news article right here. But basically, long story short, we got a bit of an update from his famous producer, Toshio Suzuki. I believe that's his name. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And he seems like an awesome guy, and all the documentaries and behind the scenes interviews with him, he just seems really cool. He seems like a cool guy, which is a good quality for a great producer. Anyway, basically he shared an update. He said he completed only about 20% of the storyboards. That is Hayao Miyazaki for this feature-length film, and that it's going pretty slowly. The plan was to have it released maybe in 2019, 2020 before the Tokyo Olympics, but Suzuki basically said, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm paraphrasing, but basically said that it's pretty much impossible at this point, because 20% of storyboards isn't a lot, obviously. And again, he refused to acknowledge the title of this film, so there's a bit of a speculation on, well, is it based on this Caterpillar short film? Is it a whole new story? We don't know. It hasn't been confirmed yet. And at that point, I was pretty skeptical, or however you pronounce that crazy word. I was just like, I'm not sure if we're going to get this feature film. If he comes back from retirement, then awesome. And it's great that he had an opportunity to work on this short film to make it happen. But are we going to get a new Hayao Miyazaki feature film? What a gift to the world that would be. But at that point, only, 20% of storyboards? It obviously wasn't moving slowly, or was moving slowly, and again, I didn't know what was going to happen, and none of us did. This Friday, just a few days ago, I should say, last Friday, we did get some news that Studio Ghibli is hiring basically an open call for artists to work on this brand new movie. This came from Studio Ghibli themselves. It was confirmed as Hayao Miyazaki's last movie. And to be frank, considering how old he is, yeah, that seems fair. This is definitely going to be his last one. And it's to everyone. It could be, you just need to be able to speak Japanese, etc., etc. I'll also link to some articles down below in the description so you can all read them. It is really awesome stuff. Really, anyone can apply. Now, I imagine Studio Ghibli has pretty high standards, and I'm not sure, it would be weird if someone from America or something like that actually got the job. That would be crazy. But basically but this went everywhere, and it announced that a production start date was going to be on October 1st. That was going to be your first day of work or whatever. So basically, this movie apparently got the green light. It's going to have a start of production. That's awesome. A brand new Hayao Miyazaki movie? That's incredible. Last Friday, gosh, I know how time works. The last few days ever since I learned about this movie is all I can think about. A brand new Hayao Miyazaki movie. What a great blessing that is. And it's interesting. What movie is he going to tell? Is it going to be based on this Boro the Caterpillar thing? Now, a little bit of trivia for you. Before Hayao Miyazaki made Princess Mononoke, the great masterpiece, he was debating between that and another film that, to my knowledge, was about a caterpillar. The idea was going to be about a caterpillar who he gets to one side of the park or something like that. It was going to be kind of a simple story like that. But his producer, Suzuki, told him, no, you should make Princess Mononoke because it's a big action film, you're young, let's do that now. And long story short, that's obviously what they did. I'm not sure if this new Boro the Caterpillar short is connected to that early idea that Miyazaki had. I don't know, but it's interesting. I guess we're going to finally get to see that feature film. Maybe it is a brand new idea. Again, Ghibli isn't really saying. But no matter what it is, I'm really excited to see what Hayao Miyazaki does. I'm excited to see a new feature film from him. It's literally all I've been thinking about over the past few days. And if it's not based on this Caterpillar short film, if it's a brand new idea after all, well, who knows what the guy is doing. We'll see. No matter what it is, I know I'm going to see it at least a few times in the movie theater to support Hayao Miyazaki and his great work. Now, a big theme in this brand new documentary, it's called Never Ending Man or anything like that, and his producer even talked about that in the interview, which I was just kind of reading from, is the question of Hayao Miyazaki's health. And in Japan, they're a bit more blunt and honest about these things, I guess. And there's questions of whether Miyazaki is going to be healthy enough to work on this feature film, especially over the next 3 years. In the documentary, I've read a lot about it. Again, I basically spoiled it for myself, reading reviews and transcripts and stuff and watching different clips of it, of Never Ending Man. I think that's the title. It's down below. You can find it. And there's a constant theme of Miyazaki being honest about how he's wondering if he's even going to make it to the end of this film. Will he be able to finish it in time to see its release? yeah, morbid, right? Kind of depressing. But at the same time, when you're that old and so many of your friends have passed away, I understand that. And I respect Miyazaki for being frank about this in the making of this behind the scenes kind of documentary thing, and for even his producer to be honest about it as well. That's terrible to think of Hayao Miyazaki passing away before this film is finished. It's terrible to even think about him passing away in general, because what a great loss. And what a great genius of a man that has really given us such great stories and was really given us such great films and all of that. I mean, that's more important than a new movie any time of day, right? Period. But at the same time, I don't know. That makes me really sad to think of that happening. But hopefully he keeps himself healthy and can keep working on this film. I get the impression that this movie is really helping him. He literally wants to work until he dies, it sounds like. So I respect him for that. That is pretty extraordinary, especially at the age he is. By the time 2019, 2020 comes along, and he'll maybe be like 80 or something. Is that right? My math might be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, he's going to be an older man. And the fact that he's working, even has the energy to consider working on a movie like this, is incredible. So what do you guys think? Are you excited for Hayao Miyazaki's new movie? I know I am. I'm going to be there. A new Studio Ghibli film is always great. Apparently this new film, again in this kind of application to apply to work for Ghibli, it sounds like it's going to be a 3-year production, but they made it clear that it could vary, it could change. So, October of this year, that means like 2020, 21, it's going to be a long time away. That's the worst thing about animation, is just how long it takes. But you bet that I'll be there. So again, guys, what do you guys think? Are you worried about Miyazaki's health at all? He seems to be healthy. He seems to be good. But I'm literally going to be praying that he'll be in good health to continue to work on this film. Because obviously, that's what one of the main things he's on this earth to do, is what he says. So I wish him all the luck and best in that. So again, a new Miyazaki movie is coming out. That is awesome. I can't wait to see what happens and to get more information in the coming years. It's going to be a long time. That is a long time to wait for a new Hayao Miyazaki movie. Gosh, let's be patient. I wonder what... I want to watch it now. There you go. I can just watch one of his older films right now. Awesome. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, tell me what you think down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you liked it. And never ever forget, I am your friend. I am always going to be there for you. Thank you so much for being my friend. Again, a new Hayao Miyazaki movie is going to be out in a few years. Awesome. Let's celebrate. I'm going to celebrate by watching this. You guys are the best, and I will see you next time.